right. Hello. Welcome back to the Spotter Stand, Martinsville edition. Once again, it's BSR Hot Rod and BSR Pockets joining me in the booth this week. Special guest, Nelly, joining us also this week on the Spotter Stand. Welcome, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
What's
Doing
up,
good.
everybody?
Hello,
What,
everybody.
what about you, Texan? How you doing? We know you've been under the weather, man. Good to see you back.
I'm feeling a ton better. Man, I was feeling terrible. I had to be feeling bad to not race. I hated missing Saturday night. I hear my team could have used my help. Yeah, I missed that SST race too, that Super Truck Series. I'm liking that, and I really sucked having to miss those two Saturday night races. But I'm definitely feeling better, ready to get back in the seat. Glad to be able to make it to the spotter stand this evening, and ready to get into what happened last week and start off another good week of racing.
Absolutely. I know you must have been terribly sick to miss all that racing because I know how much you like to race. I knew that was tough on you. So, well, at least you're back. That's the takeaway from that.
Let's jump right into it. I've got one pick to share with you guys this week. I finally jumped into my email, got the pick that BSR Momo sent me of his Lynn Voiles memorial shirt. There he is right there. Second annual Lynn Voiles Memorial 250, sponsored by Voiles Trucking. Drunken Cow Jerky, WLS Graphics, got the Bomb Squad Racing logo on there. Uh, another great prize awarded here at BSR. Few people got these T-shirts, and Momo, I'm sure, proud to be one of the few that has one of these. So let's jump.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, that's a fantastic shirt. Thanks to Brian and Kathy Voiles for that prize, and Tim and Christy over at WLS Graphics put that together. That's a super nice deal. There's a few of those around. I think there's a few people got some t-shirts. I think Scar was telling me earlier they did like 10 shirts. So that's one of them right there, and that'll be something it's damn sure a conversation starter. You'll be walking through the grocery store, somebody say, "Well, what's that?" And then you get to tell them that it's sim racing and watch them get that odd look on their face.
Yeah, we've
No
already seen
Momo is
pics
watching.
of my shirts and Brain Fade's T-shirt as well. Let's check out the racing that we did last week. We'll start out with Wednesday night. Wednesday night, the Truck Series was back on. Raced at Martinsville, and Martinsville being a short track, you would think it's going to be an ugly race. It's going to be a lot of cautions, and we usually do pretty well, surprisingly well at Martinsville. We had a great race on Wednesday night. We did have a few cautions, but there really weren't that many. We had several long runs in this race. Was a great race overall, and it was myself, BSR Texan, finally managed to bring home a victory in the regular season. Got myself into the Victory Lane Club with a victory in the Truck Series at Martinsville.
Yes, good win, Texas. Mayhem second, Looney third, Momo fourth, and Poor Boy rounds out top five.
So are you saying that that's your first win for the Victory Lane Club this season?
Yes, it is.
Yep, I
Really?
beat him there.
Yeah, in any series, that's my first win. I
That's
managed
boy.
to win some of the preseason stuff. I won the Lynn Voiles Memorial Race, and I believe I won the Hangover race as well. So I did manage to win some of the preseason stuff. I think a top five. I've got a couple of the top fives in the AK Daytona and the first Daytona race. So I did manage to get a bonus point or two there. But that's my first victory this season in any of the three series. So yeah, my introduction into the Victory Lane Club this season.
Well, you made it in there, didn't you?
Yeah, think about it, Buck. There's been a lot of guys that don't normally win one early. You, me, we got Clack. You know what I mean? There's quite a few people got some wins early.
Yeah, and I know Texans coming off one of the best seasons ever, if not the best season ever in the history of this league. So, you think that all of that pressure that built up, and then you finally make that huge achievement. You think that it's taken away a little bit of your competitive drive because you've reached the pinnacle there, or you just having an off,
No, I think if anything, what it's done is it's stepped up everybody else's competitive drive a little bit. They're like this. We're not going to let this happen again. Texan ain't winning everything this season. It ain't going to happen.
Not if I can do anything about it, that's for sure.
Well, coming out of the gate first of the season, everybody's up on their toes. They're usually in brand new equipment. They're really ready to get the season started, and it's this this is a long season, and you've got to keep that mentality throughout all the way to November. From you know what I mean? It's basically from winter to winter, and that's gonna be a tough thing to keep up over a long period of time. But and some people, they get into the groove, and it takes them a little while to get back into the groove, and they start halfway through the season. Plus, everybody's looking at the last 10 races. You've got a little bit of breathing room. You're banking bonus points and trying to get everything gathered up for those last 10 races. So it will be interesting to see. And I tell you, Martinsville, I said that last week, that Martinsville all week long has produced some great races. I mean, at a track like that, you just expect trouble. It can go south very quickly, but man, these races were great, and that's a great win for you. So welcome to the club. We'll get you a key to the lounge and to the executive washroom there in the Victory Lane Club. And so come on in. We'll have snacks and refreshments, and we'll have lots of drunken cow jerky. So come on in and help yourself.
Well, I'll be in there hanging out. You know that.
That's right.
Speaking of bad luck, that we did have some of that in this particular race. If you look up there at the top, our guest tonight, Nelly, took the pole with a great lap. 20.698 in the trucks. That's an awesome lap. But if you look at his finishing position there, dead last, down by 147 laps. Nelly, you were out early. What happened to you in that race?
My motor blew up for some
That's
reason.
Heather.
Yep. Got lucky, I guess.
But a random.
Yeah, it was.
Faulty parts.
Well, better a random blow up than to get taken out in an accident or something like that. Because nobody,
or something that you changed wrong and did and missed and caused it. You know what I mean? At least it wasn't that.
And if you also look, he ran 53 laps and led 31 of them. Started on the pole, obviously had a fast truck. I was up there, I think, trying to catch you at one point early in that race, and I wasn't really gaining much on you. I don't think you had a great truck, so led 31 of the laps that you were in. Somehow I managed to lead the most there at 56. So after Nelly dropped out, I did manage to find my way up to the front and lead several laps. And if you look at these laps led, quite a few other drivers. Momo led 51 laps. He also had a great truck there, bringing home the fourth place finish. And, Mayhem's been having a great season. A lot of good finishes, a few wins. He's been dominating over in the Xfinity Series. I think he's won so far all the races he showed up to in the Xfinity Series, and great season for Mayhem. A lot of drivers leading laps in that race. Let's
Yeah,
go. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
actually led a bunch of laps and had the wrong gear in. Totally was way off the ballpark for gear.
Yeah, but you still led 16 laps. Yeah, Barry. Look at BSR. Barry led 22 laps there in the race.
Yeah, that unfortunate thing that happened, I think that might have been the first caution, was it not?
Nelly, when he blew up, yeah, I believe that was.
Yeah, so we had that long green run, and I knew right then at that point, I thought, oh man, that. And I looked and I said, Nelly, you couldn't have finished any worse. That couldn't have happened
Yeah.
at a worse. That's as bad as it gets right there. And I tell you, we've all had those. You. One of my philosophies is just show up, don't finish last. But man, your motor goes. What are you gonna do? So that happened. So, uh, you're not in here because you finished last in this race. So we'll move along here and talk.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the point standings here in the Truck Series after Martinsville. Currently, BSR Pocket still holding the lead.
Oh,
Yeah. And looky there, Vince Conway in second place, down by 6 points. BSR SS Joba in third, down by 7. Monty Keller moves up a spot to take over fourth, down by 15. And BSR Hot Rod rounding out the top 5, down by 16 points. Hey, Pockets, you're having a great season here. You leading the points in the truck with a pretty decent lead, 6 points over Vince. Vince doing pretty well here in this Truck Series too, holding down second place.
yeah, Vince Conway, driver out of Baltimore, Maryland area, comes in, and he's been a long time friend of ours. I've known Vince for forever. Great friend of our good friend Aussie Bill, and they're big buddies and have raced together for a long time. And he's stepped off in here and run some of these Wednesday night races, and there you can see that he knows what he's doing. He put himself in second place. We've been fortunate. We didn't have a great race at Martinsville, but it could have been worse. I could have been driving the 103 truck that lost a header and finished dead last. But it's those few spots that you save. I could have lost even more spots, so we'll take it and head to Texas. We're kind of excited about Texas because we just love Texas and we love everything about Texas. So yeah, that's a good feeling to go into Texas as the points leader.
Speaking of schedule and going to Texas, we head to Texas as Pockets alludes this week, and we're off for quite a while.
As
So
far
that
as the
means
trucks,
Drunken Cow Jerky Dirt Series on Wednesday night.
Yep, we will be back 2 weeks.
Yep.
well,
There you go.
let's take a look at Thursday night.
You want to look at Thursday night, Nelly?
Thursday night Cup
Yes,
Series.
I would like to look at Thursday night.
Yeah, this is the reason we brought BSR Nelly in here to join us this evening, because for the terrible luck that he had on Wednesday night, he definitely made up for it on Thursday night. It was Nelly in that number 103, the Medicine Chest Pharmacy ride, that did bring home the victory at Martinsville in the Cup Series with another great race. This Cup Series went off pretty much just as well as the Truck Series. There was a few cautions, but a lot of long green flag runs in this series as well. Man, I tell you what, I had a rough time because this is when I started really feeling it. And Thursday night, I was lucky to finish that race. I was feeling terrible. But Nelly, man, great job. Great job on the win.
Thank you.
How did that race, go for you different? Obviously, you didn't blow up.
I didn't blow up.
Yeah.
I was surprised that there wasn't a lot of cautions, that we had a lot of green flag runs. You'd think at Martinsville, like Pocket said, that a lot of times it can go south, but we didn't. Everybody gave everybody a little extra room, and it was a good race.
It was. It was a great race and a great win by you and the Medicine Chest crew there. Tell us a little bit about the Medicine Chest. I was gonna tell the story, but you tell it. Your sponsor.
What story about them?
Never mind.
Which one?
Yeah.
Nellie's sponsor is the Medicine Chest Pharmacy up in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and that is the business of one of our good friends and teammates, BSR RJ Rusty, and RJ is originally from Minnesota, at the same town that Nelly is from, and they grew up. They were friends growing up. They're still friends, and they race together. And Nelly drives the car sponsored by his good friend RJ.
Yes.
That's the story I was talking about. But I got it. No problem.
Well, let's take a look at the results here. You got the top 5 for us, Hot Rod?
Yep, I sure do. Nelly won. Poor Boy with a great run got second. Steve Looney third. SS Joba fourth. And Pocket squeaks out at top 5.
Whew, I needed it at that track too. Great run by the rest of those guys. Got SS Joba in there. Roger Blevins brings it home second. Steve Looney, and I tell you, Steve Looney, he just flies under that radar, man. It's just, he's not flashy, he's not loud, he's not brash. He just walks in, quietly does his business, and you see where he's at. So good job to all those guys.
Yeah, and Poor Boy led the most laps, 63 laps he led in that race. That's about a good third of the race that Poor Boy managed to lead. Nelly led 39 of them. A couple drivers, Rick Craddock led 26, Terry Scott led 26. Quite a few other drivers got laps led in there. Monty Keller led 18 of them. Steve Looney 14. Pockets even led 9 laps. Look at there, and brought home a top 5.
Yeah, that wasn't under caution. I stayed out one time on tires a little longer because I just felt like it was going green, and we weren't getting a lot of huge tire wear in the early stages of a run. So, it's kind of a habit just to pit every time you can. But I thought, I'm not going to pit. I'll just stay out right here, and that led me to being able to be out front and lead a couple of laps. But after the tires wore a little bit, the guys that did get tires caught up. But man, I mean that track, like we keep referring to, it just creates some great racing, and it's really not for short track and as many people as we have on the track fighting hard, for every position. Really great racing, and Roger Bevins tells me all the time that he's just not any good in Cup. He likes the truck physics. Well, this is Thursday night, isn't it? That was a Cup race, wasn't it?
Yep.
So
Yep.
Roger seemed to do pretty good there at Martinsville, even in the Cup cars that he said that he doesn't feel like that he's as good in. So congratulations
All
to
the
all
cars
those guys.
are really close in speeds.
Yeah.
I think the cars all the way back through were pretty close in speeds on Thursday night, Nelly.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I led 1 lap, and it was under caution. As a matter of fact, I think
Those count.
I think one of those cautions saved me because I was getting ready to go a lap down just before one of the cautions came out, and that saved me from being a lap down. And that's probably the only reason I was able to finish that race on the lead lap.
Yeah, we won't talk about that caution.
Okay, let's not talk about it.
Well, let's take a look at the points here in the Cup Series after the Martinsville. It is Rick Craddock at the top of the board in the Cup Series with myself and Pockets tied for second place, both down by 2 points. Pockets moving up 2 positions to tie for that second place. And BSR Wings dropped a position, still in 4th place, so only down by 5. Nelly moved up 4 positions to tie SS, who also moved up 2 positions for 5th place, both down by 7. Points still really close up there. We're about 4 races in now. Still close there for the top 9, 10.
9, 10, yeah. Was it 10, 9?
Yeah, back to Brain Fade in 9th, down by 15. And you got Steve Looney. Steve must have had a bad race somewhere to be down by 33 points.
I think so. I think he did. I think he sure did. Had some misfortune back there somewhere on the schedule, and these points are so tight right here. I mean, I finished 5th and went up 2 points in the overall standings. So that'll tell you those top 5s, man. That's where the money's at. You get in that top 5, you're in business.
What you are missing here is this week at Texas is halfway through first segment.
Halfway through first segment, so that means
it's race 7.
Yep. And I tell you, this coming up in Texas is going to be a big week, and I tell you, going to Texas in the Thursday night Drunken Cow Jerky Cup Series, 2 points off the lead, tied with the Texan at his house in his state, in his yard. That's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait to get there.
Well, Rick Craddock has got a great car at Texas, so if he doesn't win that race, I'll be surprised. Rick Craddock has always got a great car at Texas, and he's gonna be running good there.
Also, have to remind everybody this is a bonus point week.
Oh, this is a huge week. Jerky prizes, jerky bingo, jerky. It's gonna be insane. Bonus points, huge bonus points, chase bonus points. It's gonna be a big week for us.
Second, and the rest of the top 5 gets 1.
Yes, this is going to be a huge week at Texas. This is something everybody's been looking forward to, and this is the first time in the series that we've done a special bonus point event in Texas, but we decided early on that since we're going to Texas, we're going to make it count. So there's going to be jerky prizes for the winner from our great sponsor, Mark Heyman, Richard Heyman, all the fine folks down in Dallas, Texas, right there, going to their hometown for this race. So it's going to be a big deal. You'll be seeing some posts and stuff on Facebook, and we're all streaming and stuff. So there'll be lots of multimedia attention out there, social media stuff for you to look at and keep up with this. And we'll give you a full report on all the week's happenings next week on the Spotter Stand, same time right here.
Yeah, all 3 series will be going to Texas this coming up week. We're going to start out tomorrow in the trucks, Cup Thursday, Xfinity Friday. So all 3 series will be racing at Texas, and be bonus points towards your chase in all 3 of those series as well.
Yeah, we've put a lot of metal in the Lone Star State.
Gonna be some people mad this week, I'm telling you now.
Tomorrow night. That's one thing I was gonna say. The one thing about Texas is when he was talking about Rick Craddock having a fast car and all that stuff, and I'll tell you right now, you can get in trouble quick there, and if you get in trouble at Texas, you're probably done. You gotta run a good race at Texas because it's super fast, and it's not, that backstretch. It's tricky because you're just carrying so much speed. There's a lot of speed that track produces, so it's going to be a hair-raising event. And all 3 nights, we're gonna go down there and do what we do there in Texas.
I got both the 6-shooters loaded. We're ready to go.
You're probably going to need them.
Now, Friday night, the Xfinity Series was off, did not run at Martinsville. So we're going to move on to Saturday night. Saturday night team series. We are into season number 37. I believe we are 7 races in now with just 3 races. 3 races left to go. And Saturday night, I missed the race, but from what I hear, it was a doozy. It was a heck of a race that was run on Saturday night. It was BSR Pockets in that number 38 Drunken Cow Jerky beer bacon flavored truck brought home the win at Daytona. Yep, back in the trucks. The Daytona night tracks were all run in the trucks in this team series, and Pockets getting it done for his beer baking team, bringing home the win. Great job, man.
Who? Man, I'm gonna tell you, I've been in a lot of Saturday, and everybody was saying after that race, we've been in a lot of races on Saturday night and the rest of the week for many years in this league. But for some reason, that Saturday night there was some magic in the air or something because, and I think it's got to do with the teams being behind and fighting so hard because that's what I did. I mean, I raced as hard as I have ever raced for anything Saturday night. And we were down a teammate, Randy, my good friend Randy, and teammate for season 37 was there with me, but DJ had to miss, and so it was just me and Randy. And so, I mean, we were hungry. I mean, we're fighting to keep from just being beat down. And I tell you, man, we rose to the occasion, but those guys fought tooth and nail all race long. And the last 20 laps of that race was as tight and as tough as it gets. I'm telling you right now, me, BSR Scar, Momo, Steve Looney, several others that were in there in that mix. I mean, we went 3 wide for a long time, and I mean, we were banging doors and we were getting after each other. And it was just, I tell you, I got fortunate enough to win that race. I made the right move at the right time because there's just so much defense and offense being played, teammates trying to, I mean, it's just a madhouse. And that was a super exciting win. That's a win that I will remember for a very long time because I'm going to tell you right now, me and the 83 and that 54 and the 56, I'm telling you, we raced each other tough. Roger Bevins was in there in the mix. Eric Fox trying to get that elusive first Bomb Squad racing win. Saturday night's a tough night to be able to do that. So man, it was really good race. Hate you missed it, Texan.
Well, I'll be in there this Saturday night. My team, we're way back. I don't think we've got a chance to get up there for the victory, but we're going to be in there doing all we can to put some cars in front of that Reaper team. That's for sure.
3 races left. It's gonna have to. Some things are gonna have to happen because they've got a pretty good hold on things, and they can pretty much they can really play some. Their strategy has opened up to where defense is shit. I mean, that's a viable option for them to hold what they got. Don't let anybody advance, and if they do advance, that's one of those things where you're smart enough to don't race that guy so hard. Finish right behind him. He'll never beat you because he ain't got enough time to make up those points. That's why Momo and I raced so hard because he knew every position counted because I was trying to advance on those guys and man, I'm telling you, it's produced some good racing. And then the trucks, I will tell you this, after that race right there, I'm pretty sure it'll be unanimous that the trucks in some form or fashion are here to stay on Saturday night in the team series.
Let's go take a look at the race results here from Saturday night. The beer baking team, obviously taking the top spot, brought home 47 points to gain a little bit on the Reaper team. Original brought home 43 points with the next best finishing position. And Reaper, even though they didn't bring home another victory, they still didn't do too bad with the third best finishing position, 42 points. So Original gained a point on them, and it looks like Beer Bacon gained 5 points on them. The rest of the teams all lost a few more points to the leaders, who are currently that Reaper team out there. And it looks like nobody None of the top finishers managed to score that led the most laps bonus point. So whoever led the most laps didn't finish first for their team.
That's because the person that led the most laps blew up, didn't finish the race.
Ah.
Aha.
Let's see what the points look like with 3 races left to go. They did narrow down a little bit. Reaper still holds the lead, but the Beer Bacon team moves to within 16 points, and Original down by 22. The rest of the teams, I think Beer Bacon and Original are probably the only 2 teams that really still have a legitimate chance to take home or steal this victory away from the Reaper team in season 37, with Ghost being back by 32, Teriyaki by 42, Wolf Bites 47, and Hot back by 61. I think that's just too many points to be able to make up in 3 races. But Beer Bacon definitely a legitimate chance, and the Original team still 22 points. I mean, that's doable in 3 races if the Reaper team can be kept back to some maybe 6th, 7th, 8th place finishes.
Well, I tell you, there's a storm brewing in the next 3 Saturday nights. It's going to be pretty stormy because I mean, look, you know what can happen. We don't have a lot of cautions on Saturday night, but a couple of good ones change this whole story. Just depends on which side of the luck you land on there. So we'll see. It's going to definitely be exciting. We're back in the Cup cars for all 3 of the last races. So, that Reaper team's as tough as any team that's ever taken the track. They've got some great drivers. Roger Blevins, Betty Foe, and SS Joba. I'm telling you, that's an all-star team right there. So we'll see what happens. I was going to point out that I try to tell people all the time that the team series got to think. Look, you've got teammates that can help you, or you can help if the situation presents itself. But you need to go out and get the best finish you can. And if you finish better than your other 2 teammates, well, then you're scoring the maximum amount of points that you can for your team. So you still want to use each other and help each other to advance, but you still have to run the best race you can. And you hear people kind of grumble a little bit when a teammate doesn't show up, but that's when you take it upon yourself and you say, hey, I'm going to make it up because my teammate couldn't be here. I know he wanted to be here, but hey, we're going to take care of it. And me and Randy, we towed the line for our team and we did the best we could. And you see the outcome. So that's how you got to look at that.
Yeah, strategy definitely going to have some play here in these last few races. Even if you're not the top finisher for your team, if you can finish in front of that Reaper team, that keeps them back one more position. That's one more point that they're not going to get. So yeah, a lot of strategy comes into play. You can help your teammates and not take the top finishing position, but you can still help your team by finishing in front of that Reaper team.
I can pretty much guarantee that for the next 3 team series races, Beer Bacon will be on the pole.
Yep, probably so. He'll be there leading up, a good chance of leading the most laps also.
Well, yep. Once you start on the pole, it gives you a good shot at it. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
User joined your channel.
Who just joined our channel?
Joba.
Oh,
Speaking of Reaper, his ears must have been burning.
Guys talking?
Oh, we're on the spotter stand.
See that?
Yeah, we're just, encouraging everybody to take this Reaper team down.
Some of the people in the chat box there are calling for an all truck season. I told them they needed to tell you that that's what they wanted. See what you said.
Well, you know how I feel about that. They can have a truck series. I might not race all the races, but they can have a truck series.
I got you. I got you.
I
Well,
can run the trucks.
Right, Saturday night's race was pretty damn good, didn't you think?
Oh yeah, it was a great race.
I think. Well, I think just the situation that the points have got themselves in and being in trucks led to that. So it wasn't just the trucks, but they're
But we
fun.
also did have more cautions than we're used to on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the thing, Joe. But you got to look at it this way too. There was a whole lot more blown motors than normal too. They just got to get used to tape and gear. And,
That's trucks.
yes, you are going to have a few more blown motors and
And
trucks,
training
missing
problems.
gears. Yeah, missing gears and stuff like that because you can't speed shift to CTS physics and yeah. So
but
Did
that'll
you
iron-
lose your gear pockets?
Yes, Pockets lost the gear. Yes, he did.
did I?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Or was
Yes.
that Thursday night?
Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, you're right. That probably was Thursday night.
I should say I'm pretty sure I don't think I lost the gear Saturday night. I think it was Thursday night, and I still finished 5th because a lot of people gave me a break.
Mackerel, beer bacon took a hit on us. Wow.
Yeah, they gained 5 points on you, so
They did.
narrowed it down to 16 points. Original only back by 22, so you got 3 races left to go to protect that top spot. 16 points definitely doable in 3 races.
If we gained 5 points every race, they would win by 1 point. So that'll tell you how close that is. I mean, we gained 5
How you gonna gain
points.
5 points every race when I win every race?
Oh, this is coming
Oh,
here, jinx
again,
himself,
dude.
ain't he? Right here, it's public.
Again.
Comes out of the garage area, up on top of the spotter stand, and just lays it out for everybody. I hope y'all all heard that.
I don't think SS is worried about jinxing himself. He's already won. What have you won? 3 of them, right? SS, Momo's won 1.
And you know what? I don't have to win another one. We just got to stay close up front and try to finish up near the leaders.
Well, I can tell you this. That's just what I was going to point out. One of your team cars finished 3rd in that race, and you lost 5 points. So even finishing 3rd in one of those races, that's a tough thing to do. You got to have a good night. Everything's got to go your way.
And you finished 9th or 10th, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely, and it can happen quick too. I mean, that's I'll be honest with you. We went so many laps the other night. I still can't believe that we went that long and raced as hard as we did and didn't wreck. I mean, that was there was more door banging in there than in the Kroger parking lot. I'm telling you, it was.
Well, you're 3 wide. What, 4 or 5 rows deep?
Yes, for 12 laps.
And like Hot Rod just said, Beer Bacon's likely going to be sitting on the pole for the rest of these 3 races with DJ being in there. So if you guys can manage to push him and keep him up at the front and lead the most laps and have him win a race or 2, you guys got a pretty good chance at catching him and stealing that championship away.
How close is that?
16 points.
16 points, and original 22, Ghost at 32. So, I mean, even Ghost has got a chance at 32. We'd have to self-destruct at that point.
Yeah, that's a tough one because they're still going to have to deal with the Beer Bacon and original teams as well. But they do have a chance. Let's move on to take a look at the Saturday night SST series. Another race I was not able to run in Saturday due to my sickness. But it was, from what I saw, I did go back and look at some of the replays of this particular race. Looked like it was a lot of fun. This one, not dirt, not all dirt. This one was all pavement. Basically, road course racing with jumps in it on the pavement.
Not just the pavement, but in the streets of the LBC, Long Beach, California.
Yeah, Long Beach, and we don't have
LBC.
renders, no renders yet for this. I think maybe Scar might be working on something, see what he can do. But I do have some race results for you. It was Monty Keller who brought home the victory at Long Beach. Also looks like he led the most laps, led 9 laps, 42 points, top spot. But in this series, there's no bonus points for leading laps or leading the most or the victory. It's just separated 1 point per position. Nelly, with another great run in the SST, managed to bring it home second place. Steve Looney brought it home in third, Scar in fourth, and Pockets rounding out the top 5 in the super trucks at Long Beach.
Man, I'll tell you right now, that Long Beach course was something that everybody enjoyed. And I tell you, I was watching in practice, and I was watching the 028, and I'm telling you, he could get around that thing, man, sail over them jumps. He had that track down, and he was fast. And I tell you, he's just one of my favorite racers, and it's good to see Monty get that win there in the on Saturday night in the WLS Graphics Series there, because that was man, that track, it's got the long back stretch, it's got everything you want, man, and it just produced some great racing. And congratulations to Monty on that great win.
So this was a track you were actually able to get out of second gear. Did you go all the way into fourth gear?
Oh yeah,
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, a couple of spots.
I'm sorry I missed that one. I hope we go back to that. It didn't. I was looking at the schedule. I didn't see Long Beach on there a second time. But man, I wish I hadn't missed this race.
Well, we're still working and tweaking things around. This is a work in progress. We actually we started a little bit different race procedure for going forward for these events Saturday night, to where we're kind of adjusting as we go, because look, we've never done this before in a competitive prize paying series that WLS Graphics is sponsoring this and putting up some prizes, and we haven't, we're learning as we go that there's some things we need to tweak a little bit. I mean, this is not a completely serious, everybody, you know what I mean? This is a more laid back, but it is a series, and we are competing with each other, and we're trying to take the competition part of it as serious as we can. And we're making adjustments as we go, kind of on the fly, because it's just presenting things to us during these races that we feel like we can change a little thing here and there and might make the racing a little bit better. And I tell you, that race, y'all tell me, Nelly, you were there. What'd you think of that race?
Oh, I thought it was a great race. Me and Brain were having one hell of a fight for second, and he lost control of it and spun out, and he just couldn't get back going again. But I couldn't believe it. It was a fun track, and yeah, like you said, Monty Keller, he was on rails on that one.
And I've been watching this. I tell you, the real SST series has become, just like I said the other day on a Facebook post that they made, that's become my number one favorite motorsports division is that SST series with those trucks. They raced in Austin this past week, and I tell you, I look at that, I watched and see, and they show a lot of in-car. They're great about posting out all the different things, videos, and they were live streaming the race and all of that stuff and posting it on Facebook, and you can watch all that for free. And that's a huge deal to be able to get motorsports entertainment like that for free. And they're really they're really fan friendly. It's one of the most fan friendly things I've ever seen, and it's really cool. Hell, it's about the coolest thing you could ever think of, and they just do a great job. And when we try to simulate that, I think we're doing okay with it. When I'm in the truck driving and jumping over, and you go 3 wide over a ramp with 2 other trucks, and you actually make it on the other side and race down to a sharp right hand corner, it feels it and looks just about the same. So I think we've done a good job trying to simulate that. We're still working on it to try to get it to fit what we need for a 16-year-old race sim, but I've been happy with it. I really have. It's a lot of fun. Everybody walks away from there smiling and laughing, and everybody says that they really, really enjoy it.
It looks like it was a pretty, decent turnout, a little better the second race than the first one. 13 drivers for something that's, totally new here. Like you said, in this 16-year-old sim, doing this totally new mod and, racing basically road courses with ramps and jumps on them. And, a lot of the guys don't necessarily care for the road courses all the time, but when you add the ramps and the jumps and the super trucks, it just adds something totally different. It's a ton of fun. It's a blast. So hopefully we keep getting at least that 13 mark or even better. It'd have been 14 if I would have been able to make it there.
Yes, and I tell you, you get 14 cars. That's a huge field. 14 cars ripping down a straightaway with 2 jumps in the middle of it, and 14 cars going as fast as they can side by side, headed for those 2 jumps. It's a spectacle. It is a spectacle, and people are laughing, and and that's the thing about it is, I can almost guarantee you that those guys that are competing in that in the real world, they're probably having just as much fun. You look at that's the one thing about racers. When you see racers, they love the sport. That's why they do it. It's dangerous. You can get killed. How dangerous it is to take a 800 horsepower truck that has been stripped down to nothing but a sheet metal, the width or the thickness of a Coke can, on a highly strong frame with huge shocks, and go 120 miles an hour and jump over a ramp side by side with 3 or 4 other trucks. I don't care who you are. That's dangerous. That's extreme. But they build it to be that way. You know what I mean? Those trucks are built for speed and toughness. And for me, man, I can't really think of anything that is more cool than that right there. I mean, it just really is. And these guys do it because they obviously love the sport, and you don't love something if it ain't fun. I promise you those guys are having fun, and they're probably, when they bang into each other, they're probably laughing every bit as much as we do.
Well, I know we're having fun. That's for sure. So, any of you guys out there watching, listening, if you haven't made it to one of these, the first or second race, and, hang out after the team race on Saturday night and download this mod, get the tracks and come in and race with us. It's a blast. I promise you, you'll have fun doing this. This is a blast, and I'm glad that Steve Looney brought this to our attention and got us to get it going, because this is a blast, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Thanks to Steve Looney for all of his work helping us get this going, and our friend, the foot doctor, Larry Yeager. He's always there. We always need him for something, so good that he's around. So we appreciate those guys and their hard work.
Let's take a look at the point standings here after 2 races. Nelly holding the top spot, moved up 2 positions to take over the lead. Monty Keller with the victory moves up 4 positions to tie for second place. Steve Looney also moved up 2 positions, both of them down by 2 points. Brain Fade dropped a couple spots to 4th, down by 4 points, and Pockets rounding out the top 5 down by 5 points. So the top 5 really close, and then you got a little bit of a drop back to 6th and 7th. Hot Rod and Furco both tied there for 6th place, down by 15 points. SS down by 16. And myself missing the race, dropped back 8 positions to 9th, down by 39. I did ask for some provisionals. I believe I'm going to get some provisionals. I'll get.
That'll change. You'll either be at 19 or up a couple spots. One of the two. I haven't figured it out yet, but
I'll be back there a little ways still, but not quite back by 39. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this series, and it's going to be a blast to run the rest of these races and see where this goes. But Nelly, great job, having a great finish so far in both of the first 2 races, holding that top spot there.
The second and the third.
But the Hot Rod isn't me. That isn't accurate. That is actually Rubber Rat. She has been driving my truck in these events. So, and she's doing pretty good. Not too bad.
Girl power.
Yep.
Girl
girl
power.
Doing.
The diversity program here at Bomb Squad Racing is we're all on board with it. We're glad to have Tricia fielding Larry's truck for him. She's doing a great job. I mean, hey, that's a tough thing to get in right there. I mean, she's coming in with a bunch of old grizzly veterans, and she's got girl power on the tailgate, and she's out there. She's gonna get the truck under her, and she's practicing, and she's gonna be a competitor in this series. And we wish her all the luck in the world.
Definitely had a pretty good run on Saturday night. She did.
And where is she?
I don't know.
All right, you tell her. I'm gonna have to dock her paycheck.
We had that
Gentlemen,
caution and
I just want to stop in and say hi. I'm out.
See
Go
ya,
listen to your
Jobo.
broadcast.
DSS.
All right.
CSS.
Later, Joe.
Bye.
We had a
User
caution,
disconnected
and
from your channel.
she was actually ahead of me, and we were, catching up with the rest of the field, and I was actually having a little trouble keeping up with her. She was running good.
I had to race like hell to get past her because I was fixing to get beat by a girl if I didn't. But I tell you, that's going to happen. And
When it got down to the last 10 laps, I told her, do not let anybody by you. Make them work to get around you. And she did. She did pretty good. She was actually running Furco down. Furco ended up finishing behind her. I think he got involved in an accident.
probably so. But I tell you, she's getting that, she's trying to be respectful to everybody on the track till she gets feeling a little more comfortable. But I tell you, I've seen her. Like I said, she was racing, and I was trying to catch her, and she was doing good. I mean, she was doing real well. Because I'll be honest with you, I was a little concerned that I wasn't sure if I could get around her or not there for a little bit.
Well, she runs a little extra hard when she knows you're behind her.
Absolutely. That's why I knew. That's what I said. That's why I was driving a little bit hard trying to catch her. So, yeah, we'll keep up with her progress. She's doing a great job so far, and we're just glad to have her, just to show that, if a woman wants to race and put the time and the effort in that it takes to field a car, step on in here. We ain't mad at you. This is 2019. Women are allowed. I'll be honest with you. In almost any situation, I'm a big fan of women. So there's that.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the change in the bonus points this week. We did have a change in the truck series. Myself, BSR Texan, did take a victory. Moved into the Victory Lane Club over there with 1 bonus point. Added 1 more to my total in the top right, or in the right-hand column there with 2. It is still, though, BSR Quack and BSR Pockets both tied for the top spot here, bonus points wise, in the trucks with 3. Quite a few drivers in there. Well, 3 of us in there. SS Joba, Scar, and myself all with 2, and a few others in there with 1. So we are coming in to Texas. You see that spring Texas top 5 box sitting right up there, top center. Winner going to get 3 bonus points toward their chase at Texas. Second place going to get 2. Third, fourth, and fifth all going to get 1 bonus point. So 5 drivers.
Change that box around.
Yeah, 5 drivers gonna add their names to these bonus point lists tomorrow night at Texas Motor Speedway in the trucks.
And here's something to look for. A driver who has not won a race and stepped over into the Victory Lane Club could easily capture a victory at Texas, capture the 3 bonus points, and put himself in first place in the bonus point column over there. So it's in, and I love how you've got that all set out. That spring Texas bonus points ready to be loaded. Who's going to put their name in that box right there? Coming up starting tomorrow night right here, and all 3 Drunken Cow Jerky Series head to Texas for all 3 nights.
Yeah,
I'm just looking to keep the fingers on, Pocket.
There you go. It's going to be tough, but I'm excited.
yeah, and actually that would be great to see, is a driver who
That's what I was
hasn't taken a
thinking.
victory yet and doesn't necessarily even have their name in this bonus points list yet, to take that win and tie with Quack and Pockets with 3 bonus points there.
Oh, and there's drivers out there. They're out there that can do it. You know what I mean? Or a driver, let's say a driver that's won 1 race, one of the regular season races that's not a big special event like this Texas deal. That list right there, there's several drivers on there who've won 1 race and got 1 bonus point. They win this race, they are outright the leader by a point over several people, me and Quack, I guess there. So
That's right.
that's going to be something exciting to watch. You'd be kind of secretly rooting for one of those guys if it ain't going to be you. You know what I mean?
Somebody like me that freaking had a horrible Daytona.
It can happen. It can happen. You get up on the wheel of that
Anybody could
65
win that race.
teriyaki truck, and it can happen.
I got a pretty good setup for Texas. I'm kind of excited. Like I said, I'm just looking to keep the fenders on the truck, get the last 10 laps, and then we'll see what we got.
Believe, Larry. Believe.
I know when we get inside that last 10 laps, there's no holds barred.
See, that's why it's going to be so exciting, Texan. I know you're looking forward to headed back to your home state to see if you can. I'm sure that a Texas win for you. I mean, a Texas win's got to be pretty special for you because it's kind of like you're kind of defending your territory there a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, this is my home track.
But
I run
you've
pretty
always
well.
said you're not real nuts about it, though, are you?
No, I like Texas. I mean, it's one of my favorite tracks. I usually run pretty well at Texas in the trucks and in the
I'm
cup.
thinking
So
of somebody else. Yeah, you're right. And I tell you, it is one of the best tracks on the circuit. I mean, I'll put it to you this way: Texas is so good that I've considered having just a Texas series, just race at Texas for 10 races. I think that would be fantastic.
in the trucks and the Xfinity, the CTS physics, it's going to be a lot of close racing, because you can pretty much, outside of being in the draft, you can full throttle the track all the way around. In the draft, you're going to have to lift a little bit, but with the draft going on and everybody's going to be fast. Speeds are going to be really close. Times are going to be close. Just about any driver in there is going to have a decent opportunity to be able to bring home a win. So, yeah, it's going to be a good, hard, tough race in both on Wednesday night and on Friday night. Thursday night will be too, but the Cup will be a completely different race than the truck physics, because you're not going to full throttle it in the Cup, and tires are going to wear out a lot faster in the Cup as well. So, but like these trucks, man, it's going to be up in the air. It's going to be anybody's race.
I'll tell you, like on Thursday night, throw in the bonus points. throw in Mark Heyman and everyone at Drunken Cow Jerky throwing out a jerky prize to the winner at Texas. Combine all of that. This group's going to be amped up, fired up, ready to rock, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be something you're going to be glad that you're in the car for this, because it's going to be one you're not going to miss.
All I know, Mr. Pockets, is the teriyaki team was the first team in Texas.
That's right. Teriyaki team rolled in with their brand new custom-made hauler, and boy, that thing was sweet. So they rolled in early. So that's something to look out for.
The winner's actually going to have to work for it too. It ain't.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
you're right,
so close.
Oh yeah, you're right, Nelly. There's probably gonna have 20 people show up, and all 20 realistically going to have a shot to win.
Yep.
Bring up a very interesting point there too, and it's good that you're here, because I don't know if most people are aware of it, but that Medicine Chest Pharmacy team with the 103 car and the 2 car driven by BSR RJ Rusty is pretty damn good in the Lone Star State at Texas. I can tell you that for a fact. I've raced them because
Yep.
I feel confident when I go to Texas, but I'm usually racing one of those guys at some section in there. If you're up front, that's where they're going to be. If you're going to be looking for them, you be looking up to the front. You'll find them.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Both of them will be up there.
Yep. Last time I ran here, I kept door banging with RJ for half the freaking race. I remember coming up through the field together.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting deal. I can't wait. It starts tomorrow night with the trucks.
Well, in the Xfinity Series, we had no change in these bonus points from last week, so still sits and looks exactly the same since the Xfinity Series did not race at Martinsville. But again, you got that Spring Texas top 5 box right up there, top center. Once again, Victor going to bring home 3 bonus points, 2 for second and 1 for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. So again, somebody could come very close to the top. Momo, or not Momo, but is it Pockets? Pockets leading this Xfinity Series currently with 4 bonus points over there in that right-hand column. So if somebody who doesn't have any bonus points yet wins, they can move themselves up close to the lead, but not all the way into the lead. Pockets has already got 4. But still, you know, these bonus point races like this, where the victor's getting 3, it can change the story quite a bit. You know, it can put somebody right up there at the top, or give them a few point lead over the rest of the drivers.
You're absolutely correct, because I can tell you one thing. I know one person who would like to walk away from Texas 7 bonus points in hand. That's some big money on the table right there.
It just might happen.
Boy, I tell you, anything can happen, and that's something to consider. You know, that's and we've got some more bonus point events coming up through the year, through the middle sections of the season that we didn't have last year. So this is going to be one of those seasons to remember.
6 more weeks, and we go to Charlotte for another bonus point round.
There you go. So we've got some bonus points. We got some special events. This week's going to be bonus points and beef jerky, baby, from DrunkenCowJerky.com, and we're going to go down to Texas and get it on.
In the Cup Series, Nelly took the victory. Martinsville in the Cup. Moves himself into the winner race box, joins the Victory Lane Club with a bonus point over there. That was his first bonus point in this series, because he didn't have anything from the AK Top 5 or the Daytona Top 5. So Nelly moves into the totals box over there with 1 bonus point, and Momo still topping the list here with the 4 bonus points. Pockets doing well here as well with 3. Myself also having 3. Pockets, man, you're having a great season so far.
How did that even happen? How did that even happen? I tell you, it started at Daytona. I had some good races at Daytona. I had better than better than I usually do there, and some decent finishes elsewhere. I've had a little bit of trouble, but I'm still I'm digging. I'm digging.
You're digging in all three of these series because you're right up there at the top of the list in the bonus points in all three of them. You're leading the points in the truck series so far. So, you like I said, you're starting off this 2019 season pretty good. You're having a pretty good season.
Well, we're
Top
fortunate enough
five
to be
and all,
able
man.
to show up and make these races, and got a lot of support from a lot of people, and thanks to our Mark Heyman and Drunken Cow Jerky and all you guys, Larry working so hard all the damn time doing something. I just wear his ass out with stuff. And actually, it's just this for starting off 2019, starting off this season with the group that we've got has just, man, it's just like pumped a breath of fresh air into this league because of the people that we currently have on our list of active drivers. Is just, man, it's produced some great racing. I mean, this has come a long way. We've had some come in and go out, and we've had some that come in and have found their comfortable spot, and we've got a great group right now. We're averaging about 20 people per race, and man, it's just produced some great racing, and I've just been fortunate enough to be involved in it and have a little luck on my side and have some decent finishes. But we need to quit talking about me because you're gonna make me jinx myself. Probably why you're saying that.
That's the
But
idea.
I wouldn't
Exactly.
do that. No.
I'll just remember this conversation when we when we put those helmets on this week. I'll remember that I've got to not let that jinx me, and I got to step up and perform. Maybe that's what I do need, because I've always told people, unless I've got some pressure, I'm really average. You know what I mean? I have to be kind of backed into a corner before I start fighting. But I came out of the gate swinging this season because, it's just, I've been excited about 2019. It's just going to be a great season.
Well, it's been a great season so far, and we've got a lot of racing left to go. Next week, like we said, next week, this week, it's going to be a big week. Texas Motor Speedway, 3 races left to go in the team series. The Super Truck Series will be continuing on Saturday night, so we've got a lot of great racing coming up, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the track, doing some racing at Texas Motor Speedway tomorrow night.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know you've been under the weather, and I'm glad you're feeling better. You better get you some rest, because we've got 4 nights of some tough racing ahead of us, and it's definitely gonna be fun.
Well, with that, just like to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching live with us like you guys do every week. Thanks to Pockets and Hot Rod for all the help they give us every week on the spotter stand here. And I'd like to thank Nelly for coming and sitting in, taking the time, joining us. Appreciate you guys being here. And we'll see you guys on the track at Texas tomorrow night.
Thanks, everybody. Holla.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.
Later.